If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Altar Call MAFS. Today's episode is just like off the cuff. I'm your host Tane, and I usually don't do this, but I'm calling it the reality show Ramble because I just feel like a lot of things happened and I just wanted to do a brief minisode about the things and the headlines that are coming out and the things that I watched recently. First of all, news broke that Ace and Chelley broke up. I don't think I'm surprised because probability wise or realistically, a lot of people from these shows don't last. Like the most that we've had was season 6, where we still have Serena and Cordell are still together and Leah and Miguel. But usually in the shows, even from the UK and stuff, and not that people don't stay together, but usually they break up. But for this, I don't know if it's too soon. And it's just in the finalists. I do believe the last people standing are Nicolandra. And I don't know, it's such a shame, but it's also not surprising because, listen, Ace and Chelley were my winner picks, but it has come with a lot of negativity. You know what? The whole season has come with a lot of negativity. This season is never going to end. And, if you've seen the cast of Beyond the Villa, we're going to have a lot more of this going on. But I wonder what broke the camel's back. I mean, he just spent Thanksgiving with her family. They just hung out together. I believe she was in a video of his recently. So I don't know what this is. I'm not going to lie to you. I shouldn't speculate. We don't know these people. We don't know anything. A little part of me kind of thought like, yeah, they broke up, but I think they're going to get back together. But I don't know. I don't know with these people. But at the same time, Ace was 22, and she's way older. So I don't know if that was realistic at all from jump. But people are having a field day about this. I haven't really seen a lot of the headlines, but I just know some way or another Nicolandra is going to be brought into it because, listen, I don't think anyone can do anything without bringing Nicolandra into it because they have had such high profile, so for good or for bad, and the standum that comes with shows now, this is not going to go away. But, I mean, I hope they find their happiness. Breakups are never easy, but I want to know, what do you guys think about this? In the same vein of breakups, we have Bronwyn and Todd. This is not a surprise. This has been a long time coming. Everyone has had speculations from beginning, either like she came on the show to break up with him, or if she was not even thinking about it, she should break up with him. And the conversation she's been having this season has been weird. Like, that conversation with Whitney and him being on his phone looking at girls. It just seemed like she was like, oh, if you want to open it up, like it's a conversation I'm willing to have. And Todd is looking at her like, what? No, I don't want to do that. And he doesn't even like being on the show, so he wouldn't want to have a conversation like that. So he feels like, she's looking for a way out. Or even her mom was saying, like Todd was gonna kick her out first, or just comments like that. So I don't know. This is not a surprise. This is good. You shouldn't be married to someone that feels like your father. And I don't even mean their age gap. I just mean the way that he talks to her, the way that she seeks his approval, and just the way she kind of shrinks, when she's beside him. in the beginning, I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, oh, there's a love, there, and I think he cares about her, and I think they do care about her, about each other, but I think they've outgrown each other, and being a housewife always changes dynamics. Um, you get your own independence. You know what it feels like. You don't need to depend on them anymore, and or it brings things that you've put in on the surface. It brings them up to light, and you have to face them. And I think that's where they are here. I'm actually surprised that Bronwyn is, going through with this. I don't know the details. And funny enough, I don't think I've seen anything with them officially saying that they're getting a divorce. It's everybody else, Page Six and all the tabloids, but not, like a statement, from her page or anything like that. So who even knows if this is true? But if this is true, I'm proud of her because she seems like she would be scared to take that step and just be comfortable. And we've seen her struggle with being an empty nester and kind of clinging to her daughter for that safety net. But with everything happening, maybe that's what pushed her. Who knows? But either way, it must be scary for her to step out on her own. But who says the housewives don't do anything for the wives? A lot of them use it as a starting point to be free and get divorced and move forward with their lives. Okay, Survivor. My Survivor watchers, you guys, is anyone as mad as I am with last week's episode? I was so ready to declare last week's episode as, the most exciting episode of the season because this season has been frustrating, for lack of a better word. And then I reminded myself, like, things never go the way that I want it to go. So don't get your hopes up. Just to give more clarity, I am not on the side of Rizzo, Savannah, and Soph. I am on the other side. I am rooting for them. But it is frustrating because they're not playing well. It is easy for me to say it from the comfort of my house with rice in my home and food in my home while they are starving and they're doing the best that they can without food in their bellies. But this is frustrating. It is frustrating to see two people actually play and the rest just roll out the red carpet for them. I don't, I'm not a fan of new era Survivor, but I need to get over it. This is where we are now, and I have to get used to it. But it's always frustrating when you see certain players and you're like, oh, you would have been better on this season. Or if you had people like this in this season. But I don't understand the gameplay of this. Rizzo has had an idol for what, 5 weeks now? And he has been so comfortable not to play the idol. And people have not flushed out the idol. Every single week, we are finding people who are more quote unquote threats. Who is more of a threat than Rizzo and Savannah together? I don't get it. The minute you have an opportunity, you take it. And everyone's so sloppy and flip flopping, and I get it. They couldn't trust Yellow Sophie last week, but if you have an opportunity, take care of Yellow Sophie the week after. But you have an opportunity to get Savannah out, do it. I even gave Sage a pass because I'm like, vengeance for Juwan. I get it, but you can never ever be emotional when it comes to these games because your emotions, just like in real life, would never lead you to the right decision. So I just watching Rizzo make bold moves and being so bold and watching everyone be, safe, like, oh, I may go out, I may not. And it's just working in their favor. Again, it's not helping that we know that Rizzo and Savannah are who make it to 50. So it affects the way, at least for me, how I watch it because I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to go in their favor. This is going to go well. But why did Soph not take Rizzo's idol? Why? You were looking for a big move. Your grandma got you a letter and told you to do it, and you still didn't do it. And you're out there playing for a zero vote third place. Because at this point, who's going to vote for you? The perception is just that you are just following whatever Rizzo and Savannah were going to do. But again, there's this thing where it's different what we viewers see and how the players actually see it. Because I think it was Austin, I want to say, maybe not Austin, I forget his name, Xavier, a few seasons ago, where no one was threatened by him, but we were like, oh, were people not wondering if he was going to be a threat for the final? And I listened to Steven on the Know It Alls podcast. He was the exit interview this week because he was voted out. And it was a good blindside, though. I will say that. Like, I love a good blindside when no one expected it, but this time they didn't even clue us in. Everybody, everybody was a unanimous vote to vote him out. But that's crazy. But I'll get back to that. But he mentioned that he did not know what was going to happen and that he was going to get voted out. So, I mean, that's why it was a good blindside. He had an inkling with Christina, but, at the end of the day, his allies turned on him. And it was so sad. I was going to say something, but I lost my train of thought. So I do remember what I was going to say about what he said in the interview. But it's just frustrating to watch. I'm right now, I think I'm just rooting for Sage, but I don't know if Sage is going to be able to last and make it to the final three. But everything just seems we've had the same idol, so because of that, the idol hasn't been flushed out. They haven't been able to get idols out. So I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of puts the game like in the hold because nothing can really happen besides that. And then Savannah's just gonna keep winning every time. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Steven said that he felt like Rizzo was not a threat and he could go to the finals with Rizzo and beat him. But he doesn't know if it's his delusion or not. But again, I think that's where it goes like our perception versus their perception when they are playing out there. But I don't know, Sophie could have made a big move and that would have sold really well with the jury. Just anyone taking down Rizzo or Savannah. And the more this happens, the more bold they're going to get. And I know also, I think Stephen Fishback on the podcast also was trying to make a case for Sophie having to take one of the three out that were threats, which were Stephen, Rizzo and Savannah won the immunity. Rizzo had the idol that she thought she was going to play, so Steven was the next best thing. I don't think I agree with that. I still think it was like a dumb move because they have power because they have Soph. So take Soph away from them. Like, get Soph out. Like, you're thinking Steven is a threat because the original argument with Christina was like Steven is the only person who could maybe compete against Savannah and make sure that she's not safe. It's a good argument. I just, keep him in there. Like now, again, like I said, you were just laying out the red carpet to hand out $1 million to them because who's going to compete against against Savannah? Like Sage almost did, but then Sage didn't hold out. Like Savannah could have gone on for an hour. Like she was stealth. Like that was her right there. So I don't know. I just think weakening their numbers. Like yes, Sophie's saying, "Oh, I want to turn," but she has proven that she wasn't going to turn. Put some tacos in her belly. Oh, what did they have? I forget. I forget what meal they had. Maybe it was tacos. And you know, she decided not to flip anymore, and that's where they are. So even for Sophie, I don't. I wonder what she's gonna think because he wasn't sure where the votes were gonna go. No, he did. They all knew that it was unanimous, but he did not know that it was a block of vote. But he still did not use his idol to save her. So she better know she's expendable too. But I just don't understand. I know the goal is to get to the final, but why would you get to the final without building your resume? You know that that's going to be important, but I am ready for the finale next week. I'm ready for this to end. And I need to tell myself to lower my expectations for 50, but I know I'm not going to. And then I'm going to be disappointed. But it's just been, oh my God, it was crazy. It was so frustrating. I think I screamed out loud when I watched it. But yeah, those are my frustrations for Survivor. I will move on to Amazing Race. Amazing Race had its finale also, and I was actually so excited for this season. Like, it was Big Brother, sure I watch, oh, I would know the people, but I don't know where y'all stand, but it didn't hit for me the way that I thought that it would. Like, I watched it because I watch Amazing Race all the time and it was Big Brother, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was the casting. Maybe they didn't space out the casting enough. We had people from fairly close to each other's seasons, people who know each other. So it gave me the same vibe when you watch the challenge and the vacation alliances on there. That's how it kind of felt, like everyone, just looking out for each other. And they did kind of the alliance thing with the three groups who were together. Maybe the challenges weren't typical. I mean, word on the street is that it was designed by Big Brother designers, which that's a whole different thing. I don't, are the skills even transferable? How do you design competitions for Big Brother and then also design for Amazing Race? It seems like two completely different things. Maybe because it was just in Europe and it wasn't the same. I don't know. Or maybe, and it is not their fault. Spoiler alert: the winners were Jag and Jazz. And maybe because one team steamrolled through the entire thing, and it's just not fun when one person just takes over all the time. It's like when a big alliance takes over a show and it's like the same people winning over and over and over again. It's not fun. Maybe it's a combination of everything. I don't quite know, but it just didn't hit the same as when you watch Amazing Race. And I'll be curious to know, for people who don't watch Big Brother but watch Amazing Race, what did they think of this season? If it felt the same for them. The final three teams were Taylor and Kyland, Joseph and Adam, and Jack and Jazz, like the winners. At some point during the race, I was really hoping that Joseph and Adam would take over, but at some point I had to accept that that was not going to happen. Honestly, this was Jack and Jazz's to lose. You don't win 7 in a row and then lose the actual final. Like, everything aligned for them, and they're just good at everything. They're just good at everything. And now Jag is the winner of Big Brother, which is crazy. He was evicted. Siri, this is your fault. And now he's the winner of Amazing Race. So the only thing that's left is Survivor. He did say he would be interested in doing Survivor. I would be interested in a season of, I don't know what you want to call it. I don't want to say winners, but something about the trifecta. So if we had, like, Rachel Riley is interested in doing that. So if we've had people who've been on Big Brother, who have been on Amazing Race, and then now coming to be on Survivor, I would like that. I think I would be interested in that because they're all people who know what it's like to be competitive and play a game. So the strategy part of it would be in there. Now, how will they cope with the environment? That's a whole different thing, but that is also what will make it interesting to watch. But also, I just feel like Jack can do anything. I think he'll be great in it, and then he'll be the first trifecta winner. But I think that would be good to see. But yes, they did good. They did well in everything. So congratulations to them. I did want to say, in the beginning, when Taylor and Kylan were cast, honestly, I did not even know that it was a real relationship. I thought they just wanted them together, but come to find out that they were on and off, and they just kept it private. So we didn't know about it. So it was off and on. And Taylor mentioned that, they got the call like 15 minutes after a breakup, and, they decided to do it together. And it seems like they have care for each other. I don't quite understand the relationship. The reason why I was really confused is, like, we watched Kyland on the challenge have a showmance every season that he was on. So I'm like, when was this relationship? Like, just every time they were off, he found somebody else. So I don't know. Maybe Kylan's one of those people who cannot be alone. So I think that's what confused me about the relationship. And also, at this point, not even knowing enough about it, if they keep going off and on, like, in general, not even specific to Taylor and Kylan, off and on relationships are not healthy. Like, why do you keep breaking up and getting back together? There's a reason why you keep breaking up. So if that's the case, maybe they should just be friends and just kind of make it off and be cool. And that might be healthier. But yeah, that's done. Looking forward to the next season of Amazing Race and hope it will be more fun and we get to fly other places. I also thought, again, none of it is easy, but I did think, like, a lot of the challenges were kind of easy. I mean, the last one, usually you have to do something physical and then run around and then remember all the places you traveled in the world. They had to do a crossword puzzle. It's not easy, but it just felt easy.
I love my morning coffee, but sometimes the crash hits harder than the caffeine. That's when I switch to Everyday Dose, coffee with benefits. It's real coffee, infused with mushrooms, collagen, and nootropics, giving me smooth, focused energy that actually lasts. Right now, get 61% off your first Coffee Plus starter kit and over $100 in free gifts. Plus, enter for a chance to win $100 cash or get your entire order refunded. Visit everydaydose.com/podcast or use code PODCAST at checkout.
After the holidays, there's so much to clean up and get ready for the coming year. This leaves me exhausted and a lot of things falling off my to-do list. It's time to lock in, and Omaha Steaks delivers everything you crave to reset after the holidays. An order from them means having high-quality Omaha steaks on hand at all times. I'm a big meat lover myself, and I always go with medium rare. But there's also plenty of poultry and other options available. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. A family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. Let Omaha Steaks deliver high-quality proteins right to your door. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code YUM at checkout. That's OMAHA steaks.com, promo code YUM. Terms apply. See site for details. Go to www.omahasteaks.com to get 50% off site-wide during their end-of-season sale and use promo code YUM at checkout for an extra $35 off. Minimum purchase may apply. Thanks to Omaha Steaks for sponsoring us.
Whether you're walking barefoot in the snow, escaping for a walk on your lunch break, or trekking halfway across the world for a lush view, it feels good when we unplug and connect to our simpler side. If only our everyday nutrition were that simple. It's time to simplify your wellness routine with Kachava. Getting the nutrition we need from that graveyard of supplements in our cupboards is often overcomplicated. Just 2 scoops of Kachava's all-in-one nutrition shake, and you've got 25 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, greens, adaptogens, and so much more. Plus, it actually tastes delicious. No fillers, no nonsense. Just the good stuff your body craves. So instead of adding to your backstock of supplements that overpromise and underdeliver, keep it simple with just 2 scoops that have the highest quality ingredients. Simplify your nutrition at kachava.com and use code FITNESS. New customers get $20 off an order of 2 bags or more, now through January 31st. That's Kachava, KACHAVA.com, code FITNESS.
And I think it felt easy because if you put letters and you put the wrong one in, it'll tell you what was wrong. That makes it easy, because I think at some point Jack and Jazz were like, oh, was it Taylor and Kylan? One of the teams are like, just put it in so we see what letters are wrong. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty easy. So maybe they're on a time crunch and they needed them to be quick and be done with it. Also, how could I forget? It was such a pleasure to meet Paige, Easy's now wife. They were just such a cute couple, such a good couple. Like, Paige is the best. Like, she never got flustered. And even when Izzy was flustered, she would try to calm her down. And she was just a really good partner. She just seemed like a really good partner in life and in the game. And it was just a pleasure to see their relationship on screen. Izzy was kind of an early boot on Big Brother. So it was kind of nice to see her personality and a little bit of her personal life on there. Okay, new Vanderpump. We have 2 episodes of new Vanderpump now. I was fine with the new announcement. I just think we as a people are so attached to things, and we need to know that the only constant is change. I don't mind the new Vanderpump. We have to let old Vanderpump go. It ran its course. It gave us a good how many years? And also we have the Valley. They have, the people that you want to see, and some people are on there. Nothing, of course, is going to beat the original. And because you can't have lightning in a bottle twice, but we got to give things a chance. Maybe they should have just been a different show, but it's okay. But I think that is just what's going to be their downfall. Unfortunately, they're always going to be compared to the original. That's what happened to the new version Roni. Everyone kept going on about the original Roni, which I still can't believe Bravo canceled them. Like, those women are so beloved that I just can't believe that they got canceled. But I was also one of the people who was like, let it go. They ran their course and it's okay. Like, move on, with that. I see people beating the cast up for wanting to be famous. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Are we rewriting history? Isn't that how it was in the beginning? They all wanted to be actors. They all wanted to be models. We saw them go on jobs. We saw them go for auditions and talk about it. That's exactly how it was in the original Vanderpump Rules. So what is the problem? People are also bothered by the fact that LVP is on there and she's quote unquote pretending to care for them and wanting to be there. Yes, the lady is problematic. Like she's been one of my faves, but lately it's been hard. It's been really hard because I have to accept that she is problematic, but I'm not bothered by her role. That's just what it was. It's her restaurant. She's using the restaurant, she's using the show as promo to keep her doors open. She's going to put herself in there. She started the show. I don't care that she's pretending to be their, bonus mom and she's so caring and she's doing all of that. I don't see a problem with it, but I don't know. A lot of the world seems to have a problem with it. It's the shtick of the show, so I just roll with it. So from the first two episodes, I do think that the standout is Marcus. To me, he's so toxic and he has so much going on for him. And that being said, it's funny that he's the one that's in a relationship and I don't know what his girlfriend Kim is doing. But again, just the same prototypes that we saw in the original Vanderpump. Like none of them should have been together. But I always have to remind myself, these kids are young. They're like in their 20s. This is what you do when you're young. You're just, young, dumb, and full of, what. So, yeah, I enjoy them. It's just so crazy that you had a chance to do this all over again, and still the diversity is lacking. Yes, there is some diversity, but there's no black people. It's funny that there's this one guy they keep showing behind the bar, this bald dude, and every time I see him, he's just there with no lines. He wasn't even at the team meeting. Well, the team meeting had some black people, but they're not really like part of the show. So it's just funny to me to see something that was criticized and something that's been talked about and it's like, okay, how many years later? And it's like, yeah, we don't care. It's gonna still be the same thing. Um Natalie, I don't know. Natalie, I feel like feels like a try hard to me. She's like a combination of Grace Lilly from Southern Hospitality and Lala. Speaking of which, Lala and her had like this TikTok or she was on Lala's show, I believe. So, they both sang, saying, you know what I mean? So, they were having like a little skit on there. But I don't know, it's good to see them being embraced, I guess, by the old crowd. But I'm gonna watch. It doesn't have the same zhuzh as the original did, which is to be expected. But poor kids, they're just gonna be compared. They can never live up to it. So I don't know. We'll see how this lasts. I should have looked up the ratings just to see how it doing and how it compares to also Southern Hospitality. Which I think that's the thing. Also, is Southern Hospitality is kind of the new Vanderpump and they're doing well. So I don't know if we have space for two of them in the rotation. But yeah, I will check back and look at the numbers because if their numbers are not so great and they get to stay, I'm ready to fight because why did we take off Candy's show? Which that was fun and that was interesting. And they gave that one season. So we'll see. Because Southern Hospitality doesn't even have like really high ratings, but it got to survive. They could have at least given Candy's show a second season, but you know how it goes in America. Okay, so the final show I'm going to talk about is Beverly Hills. I know, but I still tuned in. And, these ladies are being giving Selling Sunset intros. So, okay. All right. Okay, I had low hopes when Rachel Zoe was announced as a new cast member. I'm like, stop. I don't like when they bring really, high profile people because they have images that they need to protect. So then they come in there and then they're not being their authentic self. And I was like, she's going to be a flop, but I'm not going to lie to you. I've enjoyed her the first two episodes. Like she really has a lot of animosity for her ex-husband and she is not afraid to let us know. And, she has been on reality TV before, so she's a pro at this. It's not new to her, but I'm enjoying her. She seems to be authentic, I think is what I'm going for. So I'm enjoying that about her. what I do not enjoy in the opposite end is this women acting glib about Garcelle. Um, if they want to talk about her, fine. I'm trying to remember like if there's been another cast member where they've talked this much about them, or it's been like, a lot of just acting like you've never met this person. But just the way they talked about her. But okay, maybe it was because she was friends with Sutton and then is not talking to Sutton anymore. But suggesting that maybe Garcelle just saw her as an ally, I think that was gross. I think that was undermining the relationship that they had. And just in general, I think Kyle on What Happens Live and just saying like, "Oh, I have no idea. We reached out. We wanted to know." But I don't know how you can forget how she was treated the entire time, how her book was thrown in the trash, how Erica was with her son, how you guys just constantly kept telling her being friends with son is holding you back. And just, when people are being nice, nasty to you. And, maybe she's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't have to like her, but she didn't deserve the treatment that she got. So at least acknowledging that will go a long way, but really acting like you have no idea, what it was about and what was going on. I just thought that was really, really annoying. And then Erica, who has no storyline or nothing to offer and is just getting her paycheck, seemed to be doubling down on being mean, and it was not cute. I mean, I thought she was just rude about the whole Garcelle thing, and just like, "Oh, she's not talking to me. Oh gosh, I know she's not me." And then, body shaming Sutton, and it's like, you don't have to do that, okay? But the thing that they were mad at Garcelle about, which is like Garcelle asking the questions. And at the time, I also said, like, Garcelle, just drop it. She don't want to talk about it. Just let it be. I'm regarding to Kyle. But it seems like Bose seems to be the facilitator now. She's asking all the questions that they used to be mad at Garcelle asking. And they all seem fine with it. And, Bose is asking the questions, talking to Kyle, and Kyle seems to be okay. But speaking of Kyle, this whole thing with Mauricio, um, she mentioned that Mauricio, either he sold the condo or something without telling her. And then she said, and I quote, "This moves us further away from potentially fixing things." And I'm so confused. And this is the thing. There are two camps. People keep saying Kyle doesn't owe us anything. Kyle shares her life. She doesn't have to share her private life, and she has to keep some things for herself. And then the other camp is like, she's on a reality show. She has to say all these things. I just think that Kyle made everything worse. Yeah, you can have privacy, I guess, but we live in a world where if you're on a reality show, even if you want privacy, people are going to find it out for you. That is the risk that you take when you choose to be on a reality show. So, good on Kyle for speaking out and, talking a little bit about, well, I can say her name. I'm not on the show, about Morgan. And she keeps saying like it was stuff about being private and she had to keep that to herself. Well, now the story shifted and that Morgan did not want to be part of the public world. Okay, so Morgan has said, I think in the past, that she wasn't aware of the housewives or how big it was or anything of that sort. And I'm sorry, guys, I do not believe that. I just, you meet someone, you're going to Google. She was younger. She knows how to Google. You see it. You will see Kyle Richards is Beverly Hills. Kyle Richards is also not just known for Beverly Hills. She's Paris Hilton's aunt. Like, she's not a nobody. That comes with publicity. When you always see the paparazzi around you, when you start seeing all the stories, like to now say you want to be private, I don't understand that. You also want to be private. You chose to get tattoos publicly with this person. You had a suggestive, steamy music video with each other. That's not private. I don't understand. And I also don't understand why Kyle was mad at Mauricio, because she was dating. So if she was dating, why is she mad at Mauricio dating? She chose to be private. All these things I said previously didn't seem private to me, but that is private to her. And Mauricio is choosing to be a public hoe. Everyone's not going to do things the way that you do things. So calling me confused. And honestly, I was surprised that, people were surprised about Morgan not wanting the publicity. I thought we all agreed that, well, I thought that Morgan was using Kyle for clout. Again, I cannot believe that she did not know who she was, but for all the things, like, it, I thought it was for publicity. I don't think anyone knew who Morgan was before she started dating Kyle, but that's just me. But also, I don't know, the scene where she's telling Erica, like, she was protecting her, and that, I get that, but I do think we've had housewives date people who we did not see on camera. We didn't see Kenya's husband for a while, and the stories are all out there, but you can say that that doesn't address the fact that Kyle didn't come right out and say, I'm in a relationship. She was going back and forth. You can say that without saying any names. You can just say, yes, I'm seeing someone that I really like. Again, I'm giving grace that maybe she was, you know, just a little, didn't know how to handle it because maybe this is her first relationship with a woman and she wasn't even sure how she felt. But Erica is saying, like, oh, she fell in love and she wants to scream it out loud, but the other person doesn't want to. I do believe there's a little bit of bending the truth there with Kyle. Like, yes, did Morgan maybe ask for it to be private? Yes, but I think those are two different things. Coming right out and, the way she was out with Mauricio, oh, I don't know if we'll be together, but you're mad at him, but you're in a full-blown relationship when you're seeing someone, is not the same as protecting them and not bringing them into your world. She doesn't have to film with you. You don't have to say her name, but you can't say, I am seeing someone. And that's it. I really think that would have cleared it. She don't want to talk about it. Yes, she is still going to get flack because it's 2025 and people will always find something, but at least you're not denying the fact that you were someone and you're not dancing around the truth. But that being said, the glasses that she was wearing were so cute though. And also, Erica is just phoning it in. Like, Erica is just there to get her her paycheck. I didn't check, but is Garcelle talking to Tilly? I know she's not talking to any of the other ladies, but I hope she's talking to Tilly. I like Jennifer Tilly. She's just fun. We met the new girl, Amanda, and I don't know how I feel. Only because there seems to be an age gap and she's going to be in an island on her own. I think we do have one more new person. I wonder if she's closer to age. Sorry guys, I didn't look up the new cast members, but it just seems like, Jennifer Tilly's reaction when she found out she was born in 1985, she's like, oh God, I was struggling at that time and she was struggling to get out the womb. So I don't know. We'll see how she fits in with the group, but I don't think so. Based on the preview, looks like she already has one strike against Erica, rightfully so, because she said she didn't want to drink. And Erica's like, boo, you have to drink alcohol in 2025. We are still doing that. We do not force people to drink. If they don't want to drink, that's okay. You don't know their story. You don't know what the reason is. You do not need to know the reason. And you just need to take it in stride. But for her to say, unless you're Kyle, ha ha ha, says everything about this show. And this is what frustrates me the most. If you tell me to pinpoint one thing about this show, it's the hypocrisy that is here in this show. Like, why accept Kyle? Why is Kyle able to not have alcohol? Why are we okay with that? Like, even when Kyle is saying she wanted her privacy, where was that privacy when it was Denise? When Denise did not bring up anything, did not want to talk about anything, but you bring Brandy and you say Brandy has never lied and you force people out and you're talking about the honesty. So I don't know. I'm not a Kyle apologist, so maybe that's the reason why. But this whole thing is just frustrating. And I think it became bigger than it was supposed to be because of how Kyle reacted to everything. But I don't know. The show is still trucking, but it looks like next week Bose is going to ask again about dating. And she's going to say, I could go Brad, I could go Angelina. And I'm like, was that so hard? And I don't know, everyone seems to be receiving things better from Bose than from Garcelle. And maybe that's just what it was. Like, Garcelle was just not a right fit, for the show, and they never warmed up to her. But one last thing. I'm so sorry. Why is Kyle so hell-bent on standing up for PK? That was so weird. Like, you could not say anything. Like, just be quiet. She's not wrong that Dorit does receive things, because the ladies were kind of saying the same thing that she was saying, but the tone was different. like maybe I'm as crazy as Dorit, but the way the lady said it was not the same way Kyle said it. Kyle was still trying to say, I think the trigger for Dorit was when Kyle says, I don't know, maybe he is, maybe not. And just take Dorit's word for it, but she's going on that. And I also don't know why she thinks Mauricio's divorce, it's going to be different. Like, divorce brings out the worst in people. Like, when you go through it, then you'll see all that. I mean, I don't wish that for her. I mean, I hope it is amicable, but she also needs to shit or get off the pot. Like, just divorce this man. Like, do you still think you're going to get back together after all of this? You still even want to take him back? I mean, I'm sure it's like dating is not fun, but come on, Kyle. So, anyways, that was it. That was all I had in here that I wanted to share with you guys. So let me know, is there anything else? What are your thoughts on these shows? If you watch, I would love to hear it. You guys know where to find me anywhere on the socials. Also call MAFS. I usually live thread, whatever it's called, on Blue Sky or Threads, whatever I am watching at the time. But you can also shoot me a DM. You can also send me an email, also call mafs@gmail.com. Please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and stay subscribed so you don't miss out on any new episodes. Until next time, bye.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.